Hello. Today we're going to talk about another artwork from the Art Center's permanent collection. And it's not going to lead into a specific project, but I think it'll give you some ideas for things that you can experiment when you finish watching this. This is a painting called Pond, and it's done by Alex Brown. And it has some of the elements of art, pretty easy for us to see, that we've talked about in previous videos. I think what's easiest to see first are the shapes and the lines. And of course, you can see the colors, most of which are some kind of shade of green, which goes from light green to dark green and virtually everything in between. What's really interesting about the way that Alex worked to create this painting is that he was inspired directly by two different photographs that he found on the internet. So these were two photographs that didn't really have any special meaning to him. He just liked some parts of one photograph and some parts of another. And so he took the shapes and the lines from one photograph and used those here. And then he took the colors and the values from the other photograph and put them in here. And I'm not sure it's easy to see necessarily what he was looking at, but one of the things that my eyes always come to first are these shapes here. And that's always sort of my clue about what's going on in this painting in terms of the shapes and the lines. Because it starts to look to me like it's windows inside a tall building. And once you see that, then you start to see, well, maybe these other rectangles that are going up in a vertical way are also buildings. Maybe we've got some roofs here, and a roof there, and maybe over here. And so we're looking at a photograph of a city. Not really. We're using because we're using the colors and the values from a totally different photograph, that was of a sort of a rural pond setting. That's why it's called pond, with trees and things like that around it. So it's lots of grassy colors and tree colors. And so that's where all the greens and some of the brown-green color combinations come from, is from this natural setting. And so he took this one photograph of the city and one from nature and put them together just using those elements of art that we've talked about, shapes and lines from one and values and colors from another. And so you can experiment at home with photographs that you might have or other images and see how that might work into creating something totally new.